Hey everybody, welcome back to the Full Circle Network. I'm editor-in-chief of FullCircleCinema.com, Jackson Hayes. We have a very special review on the channel today. We are reviewing the first season of DC Universe's newest show, Harley Quinn. So this will be kind of a retrospective of the first 13 episodes we were lucky enough to watch. And today I'll be joined by my managing editor, Marcos Melendez.
Hey, what's up, guys? Really glad to be reviewing this season. I thought this might be, my favorite DC Universe series so far. Of course, it comes out in like a week from now. But yeah, we also have Jacob Campbell.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Glad to be on this week. I haven't recorded for a bit with you guys, so I'm really excited to talk about Harley Quinn.
Right, so this is a non-spoiler review. This is a review of the entire season kind of as a whole. We'll just throw out some of our favorite episodes, maybe some of our favorite performances, characters, yeah, all that stuff. Kind of the world building we got. This world's kind of Gotham, which was the focus of the series. And we'll just go from there and let it ride for a little bit. We're not going to spoil anything. We're not going to try to go into any specific storylines. But I guess we'll kick it off. I think we can open with the beginning, and I think we can kind of discuss what the beginning entails. It's not really much of a spoiler.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler. I think that's part of the synopsis.
So if you've seen the trailers and you see all that stuff, it's kind of obvious. So the series focuses on Harley Quinn after her breakup with the Joker, and how she goes on a journey to find herself and finds a new group of friends. So we'll just start there. So Marcos, just give me your initial thoughts on the show and just kind of keep it brief. And we'll just go from there and see what we can talk about.
So yeah, I finished watching the season like a week ago. I must say, even after a week, I still think this might be my favorite DC Universe series, as I said. Overall thoughts, I think that even though it's only 13 episodes, I think it's probably something like one of the most consistent shows I've watched this year. I think it's one of the funniest ones for sure. I think for an animated show, it's not surprising that DC kind of nails it. But I think this was kind of like out of their territory, it being like a more adult-orientated show. There's a lot of curse words. It's definitely not for kids. And I thought that they take a lot of creative liberty here with that. That was surprising, but also it's really refreshing to see that, especially for a superhero show like this that of course focuses on supervillains. But yeah, overall, I loved it. I think it's hilarious. I think there's gonna be a lot of characters, a lot of moments that people are gonna be talking about for a while. Jackson, what do you think?
Jacob. Okay, yeah, I'll jump into it.
Yeah.
I'm agreed with everything you said there. I finished it a little bit after you did. I got a slow start, but I was able to finish it up this past week, and I mean it's absolutely incredible. I mean it's funny. There's nonstop jokes. There's good character moments. There's emotion in it. There's real heart here. There's a real message throughout. For every character has an arc. Everyone has something to do. Everyone gets a spotlight at different moments. It's not no one is over shining anyone, but I mean Harley's definitely at the forefront, and that's that's the positive thing. It's her show, and it works really well for me. But it's very balanced with this ensemble cast of some random characters. A couple names you'll know: Poison Ivy, Clayface. Those are two huge Batman villains. But Dr. Psycho, who's not as well known, might have been my favorite character of the whole show. And King Shark, which is a much different take on the character than we've seen in different mediums like The Flash or in the animated series previously. It's very much its own thing, and every character gets kind of their own treatment here, and it's very, very fun to watch from start to finish. So Jacob, let's go to you.
Yeah, I'm with you guys completely. What I think is a really good sign for me that I loved this show was that I hate binging. I'm terrible at it. I can't just sit down and get through an entire series in one sitting. But I pretty much did that for this Harley Quinn series. I loved every episode, and I just wanted to see what happened next. I binged. I think just one night I sat through and just watched it all. The characters are great. It's what I loved about it was that it is Harley Quinn's show. She shines the most. But all the side characters, all the supporting arcs, they also have their moments. It's hilarious. It's really good action, and it's very fast-paced, which I love in an animated series like this.
And I will say about the fast-paced part, I think it starts off quite quick, and I thought it was kind of threw me off a little bit, but I still really enjoyed it. But I think as the episodes went on, I was completely convinced that this was a really great show. And as you said, the action, I think this is also a really well balanced show. They have the character stuff. There's action. There's some really hilarious sequences that maybe we'll tease. Of course, we're not going to spoil it. But yeah, I think that overall it's a great show. I guess we can't really spoil anything. There's some things that you want to spoil. I think people are going to be talking about. There's some really hilarious moments, as you said, with Dr. Psycho. I think especially, I think Clayface and maybe Bane is going to be some of people's favorite characters, other than, of course, Harley Quinn. But yeah, as you said, they're really great.
Yeah, so I think yeah, just to piggyback off of that, there are so many hilarious moments. A lot of things I can see being cut up and thrown on Twitter, and getting a bunch of retweets and
yeah, for sure. Some bits will go viral.
There's some of these bits are just so funny, and they need to be shared. And there's some just such good stuff. But they're just a lot of the standouts. I mean, these characters are so interesting and their own. And some things you don't see in a lot of DC, especially DC stuff. In terms of I guess I'll jump on the cursing. That's definitely, it was interesting to see because the DC animation has definitely stayed away from that for the most part. Other than the few R-rated movies they've done, the Suicide Squad one stands out. Yeah. But it really works here more so than any other of the DC Universe shows. I think Titans is not very good at it. They've gotten better. At the beginning, it was really rough. Doom Patrol is very good at it, I think. At least working it into the script to make it fit and not just using it to use it, which is what Titans did. I guess we're still up in the air with Stargirl at this point, but Swamp Thing was hit or miss for me with that. But I think the cursing really works, and I think it's definitely not a kid's show. A lot of blood. Oh God, no. A lot of guts. Yeah, a lot of that constantly. Which with the animation isn't a bad thing, but this isn't for kids obviously, and most things on the service aren't, so I don't think they've really been worried about that. But yeah, so let's go into some of our favorite performances in general, I guess. So we named some of the standouts, but we give some credit to the actors behind them. So Jacob, do you have any that stand out for you?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, Kaylee Cuoco was just fantastic as Harley. When they first cast her, I wasn't so sure about how she was going to be, but she was a really good voice actor in this. I'm trying to figure out. It was just so good. She was very funny as a character, and she added that kind of depth to Harley that I wasn't expecting. Because I thought, honestly, when I first found out they were making a Harley Quinn show, I thought it was just going to be kind of really zany and kind of out there, moments that wasn't really going to be great for me. But it was a really good look into the character of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, they develop her really well, and I think that, as you said, Kaylee Cuoco does a really good job with it. And surprisingly, I like Harley Quinn, but I didn't love the character. But I think listening to her play the character, of course, watching this first season, I really grown to really like this character. And for sure, I'm definitely anticipating more seasons for this, and of course the live action appearances a lot more now. Because as I said, I didn't really care that much for the character, but now I'm pretty much sold. We got a lot of development. I think that it definitely does her justice.
Yeah. Right, and I think there's something to say about having several hours with a character as opposed to a 2-hour movie. Just compare it to something. I just finished Smallville, and I never really liked Superman. Yeah, I always do. I never really liked Superman.
Wait, do you watch Smallville, John Jackson? Do you watch Smallville?
I did. If anyone didn't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you? I didn't know you were watching that.
So I just finished it, but I was never really a big fan of Superman in general. I guess I watched the movies, I enjoy the movies, but I didn't really connect with the character. But just I guess the show, spending 10 seasons with the character, you learn a lot more about them, and they did a really good job of that in this small sample size for Harley Quinn, which excites me for more seasons of it. It's just that there's so much heart to this character, at least in this iteration, and just showing what the character really means and how she can be on her own, as away from the Joker and that kind of that stigma around her that she got in the animated series, Batman in the animated series. So it's I just think they did a really good job making you realize that this she was able to do her own show and hold her own show. And hopefully that'll jump to the movies as Birds of Prey comes out early next year. So
which I think we're starting to see that in the movies, especially with Birds of Prey coming out, where she doesn't need the Joker to be her own character, and that's what I really loved about the series.
Yeah, so any other standouts for you?
For me, definitely Lake Bell as Poison Ivy. I think Poison Ivy might have been my favorite supporting character on the show. She was just very, very dry humor in comparison to Harley Quinn's just madness. where she's just like Harley Quinn's just all over the place trying to figure out what she's doing now that she has left the Joker. But Poison Ivy was just like, she was just the perfect foil to Harley Quinn's character. Like I said, very dry humor, very sarcastic, and I loved her interactions with Harley, which I think are some of the character moments people are going to really like out of the series.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
I
a
think-
really big relationship in the show. I think that's kind
Mhm.
of one of the main focuses, really, and have kind of this unconditional like relationship that really that survives through anything. I thought that's really strong
Yeah.
part of the series. Of course, this is something I think in the comics, and I think fans are gonna really enjoy that aspect of the show.
Oh yeah.
And I think that it's really convincing as well. As you say, Lake Bell is a great Poison Ivy. They do some pretty funny things with her character.
Yeah, on that
Mhm.
note, I mean, there's a subplot through the entire season she has about kind of like finding herself and like what she wants, and also like not caring about what other people
Yeah.
think. And it's
Yeah.
a really strong message as well. And God, it brings some funny moments with her and another character that I won't
Oh,
spoil
gotcha.
here because you need to see it to see it. But it's absolutely hilarious, and it brings some just some great stuff to the show that is away from the main plot of it, which really helps. Bring some other stuff into the series, and yeah, I loved it.
I guess another
So,
character
Marcos,
is
we'll jump
gonna
to
be-
you.
Yeah, another. I think, of course, we got to mention some of the supporting cast. So, this is not a spoiler, but Harley Quinn does have a team of supervillains around her, and some of
Mhm.
them are Clayface, Dr. Psycho.
Alan Tudyk.
Yep,
Alan Tudyk does Clayface,
And
who,
the Joker.
of course, and the Joker, of course, from Doom Patrol and Star Wars, Rogue One.
He's
of
in a
course.
lot of
So
stuff.
he's in a ton of stuff, and I mean, he's so good. He's a
everywhere.
very good Joker in this, an incredible Joker. But I mean, arguably, he's better as Clayface. Just in the way they take the character, I think it brings so much levity and humor.
So yeah, it's like Clayface, Dr. Psycho, King Shark.
With Tony Hill as Dr. Psycho.
Tony
He
Hill
was
as Dr.
great.
Psycho.
Yeah.
It's
I
gonna
think
be a
he-
Oh my
standout.
gosh,
I think he's my
so
number
good.
one standout. I think his subplot from the very beginning of the show, trying to
Is-
redeem
is-
himself
is
after he
hilarious.
does something, it's oh my god, is it so funny? It's such an out of left field kind of
I'm
thing, but you're like,
disappointed they
wow.
spoiled it in the trailer, but of course it was a really funny moment, so I understand. But yeah, I think the rest is really good.
Yeah, we don't have to be specific about it, just because I mean, if you watch the trailers, if you don't, it's up to you. But it's so good, and I mean, it starts right off the bat, and you're just like, this guy's not a likable figure. He comes around, of course, but it's just it brings, I mean, just so much humor. And I know everyone brings humor, but like they all bring a specific kind of humor, and it's very different from each one. They're all very separate.
Yeah,
and
very
nothing
unique.
really repeats
Each one
itself.
is very unique.
Yeah, nothing really repeats itself here at all.
I think another good character. I think great character is Kite Man. He doesn't have a ton of development, but he is quite different from the comics. So if you read some of the more recent comics from Tom King, where he kind of developed Kite Man to be like more of a deep character, this is definitely not that, but also I think it's in like the best way possible. He's funnier. They take him in a certain route where you don't expect, but also works for the show perfectly. He bounces off of the other characters really well, and like the fact like he's Kite Man and he has a kite is funny enough. So it was
he's
just
kind
great.
of the
Hell yeah.
He's kind of the opposite of a lot of the characters because he's like the one person in the show who's like extremely confident in himself.
Yeah.
And it brings a lot
But
of
he shouldn't
humor
be.
because it's
Yeah,
it's
he
Kite Man, and that
shouldn't
just brings it's so funny because like he should be the least confident, he's the least useful of everyone on the show, but he brings he's just so about himself, and it's so I mean it works. It just works for that version of the character.
Yeah.
Kite Man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's played as like almost complete idiot, but it completely works.
I want to give one big shout out. He's I feel like he's going to be the unsung hero of this show, but that's Christopher Maloney as Commissioner Gordon. Of course, Christopher Maloney was was he the soldier? He's like a general, lieutenant maybe in Man of Steel, but he's he's just so good. He plays Jim Gordon, but like a down on his luck kind of not his life is in shambles. He kind of hates his job
Midlife
kind of
crisis,
thing.
Jim Gordon,
Right? He
pathetic
like
almost.
he really wants Batman to like him and this whole thing, but it's absolutely hilarious. And there's one episode that focuses on him. I believe it's episode 6. It might be my favorite episode of the whole season. I think it works so well, and I think this version of Jim Gordon is so different than the confident cop we always see that it just helps to have like every character has these issues. Like even Batman in the show isn't perfect. He's the closest to being like a normal person, I guess, which is crazy because he's Batman, but. Maloney really stands out for me as Gordon.
Yeah, I thought he's great as well. I don't think he gets as much as the other characters, of course, but I think, as you said in that one episode, he shines really well, and I think he bounces off pretty great. Some fun sequences that happens. I can't spoil. I want to, but I can't. But yeah, I think another character that I think gets about the same amount of screen time that pops up here and there is Bane. I don't know who voices him. I'm forgetting. But I thought he was hilarious.
I can check while you talk.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been looking up the actors on this.
Well, yeah, Bane,
Make sure I got the right ones.
who is kind of just pops in and out. He has really no development as the character further than that, but it's hilarious each time. He just gives perhaps going to be like a fan favorite character. I know we've talked to other people who've seen it who say Bane is their favorite, but yeah, he has some really funny moments that people are going to love. He bounces off the characters really well, but of course he's not a mainstay, but he's definitely one of the highlights of the show.
Which I feel like that's what made the show really good, is that it had such a strong supporting cast. It has so many great voice actors in this, and it's just everyone, even just the little moments they have on screen.
Yeah,
they're fantastic. They're really memorable.
For sure.
So James Adamian.
Okay.
He plays Bane. He does a lot of comedy work. So
yeah, he does it in the
the
Tom Hardy Bane voice as well. So it's very recognized.
Absolutely.
So good.
God, I totally forgot. Just looking at this cast list, it's crazy.
It's actually crazy.
Because we have Giancarlo Esposito as Lex Luthor, and he's barely in the show. But Giancarlo Esposito, that's absolutely crazy to me.
Yeah, I was watching the series, and when he popped up, I totally forgot he was playing Lex. Yeah, it was great.
As James Alexander, Wanda Sykes, Tony Hale. Who's the actor for Batman? Is it
I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name, but he's great.
Oh, Deirdre Bader.
Deirdre, that's right.
He's great. He's great as Batman.
Oh yeah.
Tom Kinney also makes an appearance, which is absolutely hilarious. I won't say who he's playing, but he's so funny.
Another low-key great character is going to be Cyborg Man.
By Jason Alexander from Seinfeld, of course. But
I had no clue who this person was. As the show goes on, I think it's going to be like a character that people really look back on. He has some hilarious moments. Especially in the back half of the season. But
yeah, for sure. He definitely gets a lot more play time in the back.
It's definitely one of the mysteries of the show.
Right, so good.
There's so many characters.
There's so many characters. We can go through every single character.
We can go through Robin. I thought I was really surprised when Robin came up.
Yeah,
and
there's a great Robin
voiced by Jacob Tremblay. It was Damon Wayne.
There's one great Robin moment. I think it speaks so well to just how funny this show is. I won't say what happens again. I can't spoil it. But there's he acts very millennial when he comes in to fight a villain, and it's just absolutely hilarious to me. Oh my god, it's just so funny.
I know the exact moment you're talking about, and it is just hilarious. It's just amazing.
We just keep saying it's hilarious, but I mean it's hard to say like anything else. I mean it's very well made. The animation works beautifully. I think it's unique, and I think it works very well. And but it's just so damn funny. And if you're a fan of DC characters and just anything in general, it's just funny to be funny. It's not it's not specific humor. It's not inside humor. It's just funny. And I think it deserves a lot of credit for that, because this show could be very inside baseball when it comes to DC Comics and stuff, and for the DC Universe streaming service, which is having its issues and all that. But this works, and this is the kind of content they should be making.
This is definitely going to be a hit for them, I think.
100%.
I can't see how it can't. There's no way it can't be. It's fantastic start to finish, and I can't wait for another season. I can't wait to see more. It's everything you want in a series like this. I know a lot of people don't seem very interested in it, but give it a try. It's only 20-minute episodes. If you don't like the first one, hey, who cares? But I think it's worth the watch, and I think it's a very easy watch.
Nonetheless.
So yeah. Any other thoughts you guys want to throw out before we wrap up here? We can't really spoil anything, so we don't want to ramble too long and let things go.
Not really. This is the hardest part about doing a spoiler-free podcast for the review for this. Is just we want to talk about it because we love the show so much, but we can't say anything about it. Just watch the show. It's amazing. You're gonna love it.
I do want to mention one thing. I will say that the relationship between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. I know in the comics it does evolve into something more. I think people need to be patient. That's all I'm going to say.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair thing to say.
Yeah, I was one of those people expecting it.
Yeah, I wouldn't take anything off the table, but yeah, this is definitely an intro season, and you're getting to know these characters now.
And
so it's.
I think it's also a great way to really develop these characters.
Right. You don't rush into things just because they do it in the comics. Just don't rush into something because people want it. Give us what the creative team wants. And I think the separate storylines between their two and the love lives work very well for me. So.
For sure.
All right. Yeah. So I think that's about it. I give this a glowing thumbs up and highly recommend you watch it when it comes out. Next week.
November 29th.
So yeah. So where can they find you on social media?
You find me at BizGamer9 on Twitter. That's most important.
I think Jacob got called for dinner, so you can follow him at JacobCamp13.
You can call me on Jacob Camp. Yeah, follow me on JacobCamp13. And
Let's Talk
I did not
Eternals.
get called for dinner. Oh, and Let's Talk Eternals, guys. That is my
make sure to follow
Let's Talk Eternals account. It's really blowing up. Make sure to check that out soon. It's we're doing great. We're reporting on the film and the very 5 times they've shown up in the comics. Check that out.
Woohoo! Okay, you can follow me at JacksonHayes67. Make sure to follow the page at Full Circle Cine. Make sure to check out all of our work at FullCircleCinema.com. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Leave a like and comment if you liked the video. And I guess we'll talk to you guys next week about something else. We got to record our Titans review real quick after this. So episode 12 was great. Get prepared for a finale next week. It's awesome. So, we'll catch you guys next week.